Hi everybody! I got a request for a tutorial on how to do a reverse canvas. So I thought I'd show you guys what everybody's been talking about. This is going to be the end result. You can have any saying that you want on it. It's just one of the ones that I like. But you see the frame is on the outside of it. This is going to start out with a plain canvas just like this, that you can get at Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, any place you like. But you see the frame's on the inside. So what we're going to do is reverse that. The first thing you're going to want to do is take the canvas apart. Now everybody's got their own way of doing this, so my way is not the best way, it's just one of the ways. So what I like to do is, let me set this aside, we'll come back to it. I like to flip the canvas over to the back side, take a metal edged ruler, and I take a sharp knife, like an X-Acto knife, and I cut the canvas down the side on the other side of the staples. So you can see it's starting to pull away right here. Other people will tell you the best way to do this is to pull the staples out. Now, I don't disagree with that, but I struggle with getting the staples out without injuring myself and putting a screwdriver into my hand. So if you're going to do it this way, I would suggest being very careful. So if I do it that way, I can just lift the staple up a little bit and pull it out with a pair of pliers. I tend to do kind of a hybrid of this. I'll go in and cut the edges on all four corners, or all four sides, excuse me, including the corners. So let me do that real fast. And then you can just peel the canvas off. Corners usually do hang me up a little bit, so I'll usually take the knife and cut that part away. Again, be careful. You are playing with a sharp knife, and I don't have this resting on a solid surface, so hopefully I won't do anything stupid and injure myself here. Okay, so that was kind of a messy corner, but that's okay. We'll still make it work. Alright, see how that corner was a little bit easier? We're just going to work our way around the frame. Until you have it all peeled off. Now, some people will stop here, and that's perfectly fine. If you want to do that, you can stop here. I do like to go back, pull the excess canvas off from where I cut. And again, once you get this off, you can stop here if you want to. But I can hear some of you saying, but what about the staples? Well, you're going to cover up those staples when you put the canvas back on, when you reverse it. But if you want to, you can go ahead and pull these out. So that's where I said I tend to do kind of a hybrid of it. I'll cut it off, and then usually it leaves a little gap underneath the staples that I can get my screwdriver under a little easier than when this canvas is on. Well, of course now it has to prove me wrong. If you end up digging into the wood a little bit, don't worry about that, because it's still going to be on the back side of your canvas where nobody will see it. Alright, so I go around and take all of the staples out, my canvas is going to look like this. Magic. All the staples are out. This is the back side of my frame. And here's the front side. Notice with this particular frame, it actually has an edge on it. And that just happened to be the brand that I bought. I think these are from Michaels. I got them on sale. Then you can stain them, paint them. I happen to use this weathered gray stain on this frame right here. And you'll want to stain. You can go down into the edges. Some people will get very aggressive with going down into the edges to make sure they're stained on both sides. I was fine with it just having a little bit in there. You really don't notice it. You're going to let your stain dry on your frame before you move to the next step. Alright, so we'll keep that aside for now, and we'll take our canvas. Now, this was how it was stapled onto the frame. And you'll notice this side has a little bit different texture and color than this side. If you want more of a bright white background, use this side. If you want a little bit more of a canvas texture and color, use this side. Doesn't matter. I've also known people who want a different color than white, and they'll go in and they'll paint this. You'll also see people that will say they'll Mod Podge over this as well. I don't Mod Podge because I'm actually going to use heat transfer vinyl and a heat press to get my design on there. I know I'm cheating a little bit, but I think you'll see that once you do it a couple of times that it really is a time saver. So I've got my pattern, my saying printed out that I'm going to put on there, and I've taken this one to my heat press, and I've heat pressed my saying on the front side. And I want you to think about when you're designing your words that the frame is going to take up the edge. So on a 12 by 12 canvas, I've really only got 9 by 9 area that I can work in. So when I'm using my heat transfer vinyl, don't forget, shiny side down on your vinyl and mirror your image. I use my heat press, I ironed this on. I did 300 degrees for 10 seconds. Then I peeled the clear transfer that comes with the heat transfer vinyl. I peeled that off. I then put it back into my heat press for another 10 seconds at 300 degrees. And then I did another 10 seconds at 300 degrees. So total of 30 seconds at 300 degrees. So now my canvas is ready. If I had stained my frame, then that's what I'm waiting on to dry. But let's just say I want the natural wood look. You're then going to take the frame, line it up with your design, and carefully turn it over. This is where the reverse part comes in. So now we need to attach our canvas to the back side of our frame. I usually use an electric staple that I got at Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere like that. For now, I'm just going to use this handheld one so that it doesn't make as much noise. You'll notice on my canvas too, I've drawn lines. These are just to help me center things up on the back of my canvas. And by doing that, I'm able to make sure that I've got everything square. How I got those lines was I just folded the canvas in half and then in half again, and I left some imprint lines, and then I just marked it off. Now at this point, if you want to, you can fold over the edge and staple it, or you could trim this part off, or you can staple it and then trim it off. What you're looking for is just to have an edge like this. And you can see this one I've already stapled. There is a handy guide on the internet on which staples to put in, because you don't want to put all in at the top or all at the bottom. You want to alternate. So there's a real handy guide on how to do that. And then I just put a bracket so that I can hang my picture on the wall. So once you have it stapled on there, you've got your finished reverse canvas. So good luck. I think you're going to do a great job, and I'd love to see how your projects turned out.